Hello, it is Zach with the podcast named Tim. Thank you for checking out this video. I know we have been gone for quite some time. Life happens, but we are back at it. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the video, and of course, follow us on all of our social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So today, as you saw in the video thumbnail, we're going to be reviewing Batman. And that is not the Batman, that is Batman from 1943, the serial. We will be doing a review on the new Batman movie that just was released when it comes out on HBO Max in a couple weeks. But today we're going to be going back to the very first film debut of Batman, of Mr. Bruce Wayne, played, of course, by Mr. Lewis Wilson. And again, this is a serial that was released. As good as it worth your time, that's kind of what we're going to get into here today. So Batman was a 15-chapter serial, later released as a full, came out in the 40s, and 43 to be specific. Later was released as a feature-length film in 1965, of course, during the Adam West craze of Batman. So let's talk about some of the important things that this film did before we get into the specifics of the actual film. This film has a lot of Batman stables, the mythos, the lineage, the lore. This film is responsible for a number of those things. First and foremost, it is the first creation of the Batcave, which who could imagine Batman without a Batcave? I certainly could not. It is also the film that gave us Batman entering secretly into said Batcave through a grandfather clock. And there was I read a couple of different reports about the introduction of Alfred. One said that this film was responsible for altering the image of Alfred from more heavy-set to a thinner gentleman. The other saying that actually the character of Alfred was created for the film. They introduced him in comics with a different look and then changed it later on because of the movie. So either way, it did have a huge impact on how Alfred the Butler looked. It is an okay film. Certainly did not need to be about 3.5 hours, which was roughly the runtime. It's currently available on Tubi if you do want to check it out for free, of course. It is very much of the time, would be the best thing I would say. A lot of the dialogue of the film, the fight sequences, the just general aura of the film speak to that wartime era of films that was happening. Batman is a secret agent. The villain, although originally apparently signed on to be, or originally rumored to be the Joker, is playing a Japanese character who is, they are from the evil Japanese government, and just a lot of the time from that perspective. Some racial slurs that come along with that, which I would imagine were prevalent in a number of films from the time. But yeah, so you have this character who is a Japanese secret agent in America operating with a lot of lackeys, a lot more criminal or organized crime, mafia elements than more of the supervillains we would come to expect and love from Batman. But that fit very well here in some respects. The supernatural, I don't want to say supernatural, the fantastical elements of the film, the science fiction of it, really did work for me. Although there are a lot of story beats that kind of repeat itself, which is why I say it did not need to be almost 3.5 hours long. The idea behind the film worked. With there's basically these the bad guys using, I think his name is Dr. Daka, is using electricity and this like headset he puts on people and rests on your shoulders and puts on your head, and he can use this electricity to not only torture you but also to brainwash you and then turn you into a zombie that he can then control with the sound of his voice and with a remote control. And so a lot of those things really worked for the time. It just was too long, frankly. Again, it was a serial. If this was cut down into an hour and 20-minute movie, maybe 30-minute movie, it would have worked really well. Look, here's the thing: it was successful. Not only is the first DC superhero at the time to get a serial, but it launched um, a sequel, and obviously it created so many pillars of the Batman character that would go on to be added on to the Adam West version, and all the other movies, and the animated series, and the comics. And the thing I appreciate about the Batman universe as a whole is that the comic book writers are never afraid, at least in my opinion. Maybe this is the case in other superhero movies, but I've heard it more prevalent in Batman than others, where they'll just, if there's a movie or a show or something and something works and is good, there's not a resistance to adopt it. And so I really do appreciate that. But all in all, a standard kind of war espionage mafia movie of the time, but with Batman and lots of really bad punches and choreography. Is it worth your time? Probably not. It's certainly more of a background while you're busy doing other things movie. I don't think you're going to really miss a lot if you miss some here and there. But I gave it like a 5 out of 10 just because it did have its moments. I don't think the general idea was there. I think, like I said, if it wasn't structured to be a serial, it would have been more recommendable. So that's pretty much our review for today. Our next video is going to be Batman Mask of the Phantasm, of course, the first animated debut of Batman. And we'll get around to some other content here coming up soon, but wanted to get back into the swing of things. Again, thank you for checking it out, this video, and checking out all of our other videos. Again, I'm Zach with the podcast named Tim, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.